Hey there, this is Dawn Raby. How are you guys? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are on Tribe of Excellence, and this is our summer series. This is all about how to optimize your analytical function. So we are going to walk through some great tips today about creating a vision of your crime analysis unit. Because here's what I'm finding. I'm finding with the analysts that I'm working with is that we don't really have this clear vision of what we want our analytical unit to be. We don't have this infrastructure in place regarding what we want our agency to have, right? And so we don't even know where our analytical unit is going. So this summer, we are committed to optimizing analytical function, showing you exactly how to do that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I see a bunch of you popping on here. Hello, Nick and Michelle and Liz and all these other folks who are just popping on. Hey, Erica. Hi, friend. How are you? And yes, Jane, I feel pretty summery. It was about 80 degrees in my house about 30 seconds ago. Michelle, I was on the phone with her and she saw me melting. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Yes, Nick, you are good. Hey, all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a topic that so many analysts want to wrap their heads around, how to build this analytical capacity, right? How to optimize your analytical capacity. Hello, Liz and Becky. You're all joining. Happy Thursday, Ria, to you too. I'm so excited to see you all here today. This topic is, if you're saying to yourself right now, this is what I've been waiting for, you are not alone. So many analysts are trying to figure this out. They're trying to figure out how to build the infrastructure to create systems of quality, systems of analysis. They want to figure out what the heck should I be doing in the first place, and then how the heck do I get there, right? Is that you? Is that you? So let me know where you're chiming in from. Let me know where you're calling in from so I can get a sense of who is here. Hello, hello, hello. We have a bunch of you folks joining in. And so while we're doing that, while you all are telling me hello in the comments, I just love it, love it, love it. I wanted to congratulate one special analyst. So if you don't know already, we have a post on our page called Rise an Analyst. And every single month, we are nominating analysts. You can nominate an analyst. Erica is nominating analysts. Nick is nominating analysts. And so many people are nominating. Hello, Shelby. Nice to see you. Hello, Rebecca. And so once a month, we are, putting a post up to nominate another analyst. We are in this mindset of rising each other, right? Liz from Conway, we are in this mindset of rising each other. Erica from Mansfield. And so for those of you who have voted for an analyst, congratulations, you made them feel amazing. I mean, imagine someone voted for you. Imagine someone said, hey, I think Erica is pretty amazing, or I think Liz is pretty amazing, or I think Diana, hello, is pretty amazing. So imagine someone rose you, how good you would feel. So we did our June one. We're going to have it every single month, and every single month we're going to pick one analyst that you selected, and we're going to go ahead and give them a wellness gift. So, hey, Angie. Hey, Kirsten. I see who's from, oh, there you go, Port St. Lucie. Jane, nice to see you from Tarpon Springs, Florida. We have a great Florida presence in this group. We have lots of analysts. In fact, we just got a bunch of new analysts, so welcome to all of you. We got a bunch of new analysts. If you are brand new to this page, this is your first time here, go ahead in the comment section and let us know that you are new. Type in new so that we can welcome you. Hello, Diana. Hello, Angie. Rochester, New York. Hello, Liz. Love seeing you all. Okay, so the winner for June, hello, Steve. The winner for June is, let's see. We have it right here. Do y'all know who the winner is for June? All right, you ready? The winner for June. Hey, Allie, how are you? Let's see. Yes, it was a great feeling. So Ria got selected, and so many analysts got selected. And literally, all you do is you go in, you search for a Rise an Analyst. You search the word Rise in the group. You go in, and every single month, there's going to be a new post. It's always going to be in Unit 1, right? If you're looking for it in the units. Hello, Candace. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. So every single month we're going to have an analyst, and it does feel so good. It does feel so good. There's so many people at our agencies who are, not rising us, not helping us feel valued. We are a community. We are a family of analysts who are doing this for each other. So we do have the winner. We have Katrina Hickman. Congratulations, Katrina Hickman. You have been selected. You have been selected. So not by number, right? So a whole bunch of people were selected, and then my little daughter goes in and she grabs the name and we present you with a wellness gift. So I'm excited to present that to you, and your job now is to make sure that you hop onto the July Rise and Analyst and put someone in there that has really inspired you, right? And they don't have to be an analyst. They can be someone in an analytical capacity, maybe your supervisor, maybe an intern, whoever it might be. We want to rise each other. Yes, bomb diggity. That's right. So for those of you who are brand new, I know we have a couple brand spanking new people who just joined this morning or last night. And so I want to just share with you who we are and what we are. We are a group of law enforcement analysts. We are here to learn and grow together. We have a whole bunch of training for you in whatever level you are over in the units section. So over in the units section, if you're working on professional growth, go over there. You'll find some professional growth opportunities. You'll find a whole free training resource section. You'll find that over there too. If you're working on building confidence, if you're working on creating buy-in, all of that can be found in the units. So you can pop on over to the units and at your own pace, join on in. We also have challenges here together as a group that we join in. This is the only group of law enforcement analysts in the entire world. In fact, we have analysts from the entire world. We have Colombia, we have, where was it? Canada, of course, and then we have a bunch of other countries that are coming on in. So there are people here that are here to support you. So even if you feel alone at your police agency, you are not alone overall. You are supported. You belong here. We have pods. If you want some accountability approach to your training, right, to what you do, you can hop on an accountability pod with a bunch of analysts, and we meet a couple times a week, and we talk about what we're doing. It'll help you understand what you can be doing, and then we sit in silence for 45 minutes. That's what we're supposed to do. Work really hard, and then talk about our successes. So we essentially provide a platform to learn and grow and get connected with analysts so that you can really rise yourself as well. All right? Every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we are talking about a brand new topic. This whole summer, we are talking about optimizing your analytical function. And today, we're talking about creating a vision for your police department. Hello, Rodolfo. I'm so glad you joined us today. Welcome. You are one of our newbies, too. I'm so glad that you are here. Let us know what part of the world you are from, because there are people from all over the world here. All right? Whether you're joining live or listening to the replay, let us know where you're from. So you may have also noticed that there's a brand new July calendar pinned to the top of the group. In the July calendar lists all the activities that we are part of this month. So we have all of the live sessions are described in that. We also have some free training. The North Carolina training is full, but it is 100% free. And that we actually fly out, train you, or not me, Analyst, flies you out, trains you, and gets you all squared away in your analytical capacity. So that's 100% full, but there'll be another one for those who are DDEX communities out in October. So be on the lookout for that. And we have some other good things happening this month too. Oh, of course, we have a peak productivity master course. So over the series of several days, right, you're going to get little snippets, half hours every single day. Every single day, you're going to learn a new technique. You're going to learn how to prioritize. You're going to learn how to release. You're going to learn how to time chunk. You're going to learn all kinds of techniques that are going to get you to be more productive with less stress and less time, right? So you're going to regain your time back. You're going to learn about automation and all kinds of good things. So if you have not already registered for the free, they're all free, by the way. If you haven't registered for Peak Productivity Master Course, make sure that you register for that, because we want you to be a part of that. It's going to happen all here on the page. All right, so let's get to it. I think I hit all the things that I needed to hit. So let's really talk about, who here has a vision of their analytical unit in writing right now? Who has a vision of their analytical unit right now in writing, right? Do you have something that a new person coming on board will know exactly what you do, right? And I'm not talking about some generic job description. I'm talking about an analytical vision, what you want for your police department's analytical function, right? Do you have that? Nope. Ria says nope. Anyone else? Anyone else want that? Is that why you're here, right? Is that, hello, Liz. Thanks for joining in. So another Liz says, I wish. Oh, yes, exactly, right? Exactly. So we don't really know. Negative. Erica has no vision for her police department. No vision. And you're not alone, Erica. I don't think I've been to one police department in the past 3 years, in the past 8, 9, maybe 20. I don't know. It's not very common that folks have a vision. And so we're going to explore that today. So Jane, you want to have that, and Michelle's working on it, and Nick's working on it. Yeah, several of you, Liz Pilot, you're working on that too. You were having issues registering, but you think you got it. Are you talking about registering for peak productivity? If you're having any issues registering for peak productivity, reach out to me directly. I'll make sure you get in. Okay? Send me a private message. I'll make sure you get in. Okay. So why do we want to create a vision? Why do we even want to create a vision for our analytical agency, right? When you properly implement a vision for your agency, it works. That's why it works. So this is true in life too. When you have a vision of where you're going, when you have the end point that you want to get to, when you know where you're going, when the compass is pointed, the how becomes much more obvious. When you don't have a point of where am I going over there, when you're just kind of like, oh, I'm just kind of floating around, then that's exactly what you're going to do in your analytical function too. You're going to be reactive. People are going to throw things at you and you're going to say, oh, I guess I got to do it. Right? When you have a vision, when a vision is so clear and so concise, right? You know exactly where you're going and everything else falls into place. You are able to say no to the things that don't matter. You are able to say yes to the things that do get you closer to that vision. You are able to onboard effectively and efficiently when you have processes and infrastructure set up appropriately. So it works. It works. Data-driven strategies is not new, right? Data-driven strategies is not new. So Liz says we have a general mission of evidence-based policing, but I don't have any specific measures of success or endpoint. Yeah. So what's the difference between the mission and the vision? So the mission is really the who, what, and why, right? But the vision is really about the where you're going. So the mission kind of states who you are, why you exist. And then the vision says where you're going. So where are we going? We're building an analytical capacity. What are the desired results that we want to achieve within the year, right? Yes, vision is key. So think about it. If you started a new workout regimen, if you're just like, hey, I'm going to work out every day, and you don't really know why, then the second it becomes tiring, you're not going to wake up and work out, right? Because you don't have that bigger why, right? But when you really are solid on the why, because I want to fit into that wedding dress, or because I want to look great in a bikini, or whatever it might be, then all of a sudden your why drives you through. Your why helps you create decisions around what you're doing. It helps you see the light and continue to go. You need that in analytics. Quite honestly, you need that in your life, right? So in our Rising Genius program, which is that separate program, we do focus a lot on creating a vision of your life, right? Where do you want yourself to be? Career-wise, personally, like all the pieces, spiritually, right? Physically, all philanthropically, all the pieces. And so it's important for you here to think about, where do I want my vision for my analytical unit to be? That's a key component. Do you want to have a unit with 50 analysts? Realistically, do you want to have an analyst with 3 or 4 analysts? A unit with 3 or 4 analysts? Where do you want to be? And I'm going to help you get to some of these. I'm going to help you begin to develop your vision with some probing questions and then some structure around what that vision can look like in a little bit. But data-driven strategies is not new, right? So we have, Bill Bratton and the whole accountability piece happening in the 90s out of New York, where they were looking at performance measurement systems and CompStat. So we started to get into data-driven strategies. At that point in 2008, we have NHTSA, DOJ, BJA, NIJ, all partnering to develop DDAX to really have this data-driven approach. We have the Police Foundation, Analysts, who provide executives with the knowledge to effectively implement units, right? IACP, Crytek. We have all these different entities who are helping, drive police agencies to drive decisions using data, right? We have, in 2016, the Obama administration did the whole data-driven justice initiative. We have the Arnold Ventures, who put up $4.1 million to pilot different data-driven justice initiatives. And so we're really not talking about data is here. That we're in a data-soaked era. Data is here, right? And so what's missing is the connection between the theory of data-driven strategies to implementing the data-driven strategies effectively and efficiently at our police departments. And that gap is what we're serving over the course of the summer. That gap, like, how do we get this vision of data-driven analytics from that national level, from the world level, into application at the police department level? And we're going to show you how throughout the summer. Okay. So today we're talking about the vision. So what happens a lot of times in police departments is you have this bigger person, like this chief or some executive making a decision. We want data to drive strategies, but they have no idea how to do it. They have no idea what it actually means. And sometimes they interpret it as, if we have numbers, we have data-driven strategies. And that's not the case, right? That's not the case. So it's important for you to really come up with this vision of what you want it to look like. Hello, Laura Jones. I'm so glad you are here. We have a bunch of newbies popping on, and I'm so excited that you folks are taking that initiative, stepping into a successful path, right? Really wanting more and coming to get more. So kudos to you. So a clear vision, why do we want to create this clear vision? It really opens you up to possibilities, right? It opens you up to discovering possibilities. It creates focus and intention. It's that compass, that roadmap that we talked about, right? It becomes your measure of success and it gives you objectives to reach. So we're talking macro goals and micro goals. We're talking long-term plans and these short-term things that are going to start happening for you. Creating a quality vision helps inspire the people who come on board with you. It inspires you and it inspires the people who are joining on board with you. It encapsulates your core values, right? It encapsulates your core values. It helps people understand what you do. So what I see a lot happening is analysts are sitting at their desks. Maybe they came in from another agency and they're just trying to feel their way around. Maybe they're dispatched and they transferred in. And they just, they're sitting around there waiting for someone to tell them what to do. They want to fit in with the police agency. And I encourage you, no, you are the CEO of Crime Analysis. You create the vision, bring the people to the table, create the vision, and figure out together how to make that vision happen, right? And essentially, it really truly will mean freedom. Right? You're going to serve your police agency in a way that's valuable and effective and not just spitting out a bunch of numbers, which I know many of you are very, very frustrated with, right? So let's get into how to do this. You guys ready? You guys ready on how to do it? All right. So step one, you want to decide, you decide who will play a role in crafting this decision, right? This vision. And I should say we're really working on two visions. We're working on that one-liner that every time you look at it, you're going to know the big picture. So you're working on that one-liner. And then you're working on this bigger vision. It could be 1 page, it could be 5 pages long. You're working on this bigger vision for your police agency. What do we want our impact to be? What do we want our results to be? What kind of analytical unit do we want to be, right? Do we want to be a predictive policing unit? Do we want to be like a live unit, right? Like what is that live camera? Oh my gosh, the words are escaping me, but you know what I mean, right? So what kind of unit do we want to be? So let me ask you, what kind of unit are you folks right now? Are you an administrative unit? Are you a baby unit? You're just starting up? Are you a seasoned unit where, you have a bunch of analysts working with you, but you kind of all over the place and don't really have a direction? Go ahead in the comments and let me know what kind of agency you are, what kind of analytical function you have as we move through this, okay? Because I want to hit, if you have specific questions on what it could look like for your agency, I want to walk through that right now today with you, all right? So step one is decide who will play a role. RTCC, what does that mean, Ria? Real-Time Crime Center, sorry. Yes, Real-Time Crime Center. So Kirsten, you're a baby catch-all unit. Jane, you're brand new to the analytical function. So you're kind of just trying to learn a bunch of things all at once and figure out how to apply it kind of thing. You're exactly who should be here. We're going to create that structure for you very, very nicely this summer. I'm excited. All right, what about the rest of you? Gus, you're in the reboot mode. Yeah. Gus, 6 months ago or a year ago, I think at this point, you just got in and you're all of a sudden assigned and now you're trying to tighten it up. And Nick, you're an army of one and you're trying to figure out how to implement an actual function at your agency where you want it to be. I totally get it. So figuring out who is going to be the players on your bus that's going to help craft this vision. Right? So you really want to have your own thought process and your own vision in mind, but you want to bring some other players to the table. If you're part of a unit, you want to bring every single member of that unit to the table. You want to bring your chief to the table. What chief? What do you want to see our unit to look like? You may have to prompt them and give them some ideas, right? So, Ria, in your position is more admin than anything else, and you want to be tactical and strategic. Yes. Okay, write that down. Tactical and strategic. Liz, you're a 5-year-old startup. Yes. So you want to figure out how to actually set it up so that you can be that tactical strategic, just like Rhea. Steve, community policing with some intel lid mixed in. Yes. Where do you want to be, Steve? I know for a fact that you, Steve, you want to create systems of data extraction. You want to have data at your fingertips. You want it to be so easy to look at information. You want to be the go-to for law enforcement at your agency, right? The go-to with trend analysis, the go-to with strategic analysis, all that fun stuff. I know that. Yeah. Okay, so decide who's going to sit with you to start to craft this vision of what you want your analytical unit to be. And, just as a side note, you can do this with your families too. In my family, we sat down and we said, what's our vision of our family? What do we want our family to look like, to feel like, to be like, right? We said, and one of the things that came up, we want to be fun, we want to be silly, we want to be giggly, we want to be connected. So when you define the what, like what you want, you can figure out how to get there. Yeah, got it, Jane. Yeah, that's probably a better description. 3 years in, but still not really there. Yeah, because you're spinning. You're trying to figure it all out. We're going to create some structure for you. Yes, Steve, I know. I can imagine that it's all true for you. So yes, you can apply this to your family too. So here in the Tribe of Excellence, we are all about work-life harmony. So you will constantly hear me saying things like being a leader of self, really taking yourself and building yourself higher and higher, right? Building your confidence, building the respect you have for yourself, building the boundaries you have for yourself. And so when we talk about vision, inevitably, I'm going to talk about your vision of your own life, right? And how you're going to make your own life be exactly what you want it to be, that life by design. And if you're looking to get started with that, we actually have a free download called Life by Design. You could search the page for that as well. And if you can't find it, just reach out and I'll send it to you. It'll get you started. So decide who's going to be part of that vision, get as many players as possible, get an understanding of what they want to see. Most agencies will have no idea what they want in an analytical function, and that's okay. That doesn't matter. You can bring them ideas. I can help you with that, right? What's more important is that you have some conversation about what they envision, right? What they envision, and then providing them some opportunity to hear what you envision is really key. That communication thing, which is often lacking at police agencies. So number one was deciding who's going to craft the vision with you. Number two, dare, take a breath. We're going to dare to daydream. Daydream. What do you really, really want? What do you really, really want? I remember, sitting back a couple years, 5 or 6 years ago and saying, what do I really, 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 really want? Right? And I said, I want a place where analysts can go, where they don't feel alone, where they're educated and trained, where they're coached, where they have work-life balance. And I had no idea how I was going to get there. And now I run a full business where that's exactly what I do. A 6-month coaching business where I help analysts find that work-life harmony, become excellent analysts, and grow, right? And so you don't have to know exactly how you're going to get there. All you got to do is stop for a second and think about, what do you really want your unit to look like? Right? What do you really want? So think about where you are right now. And if you're at a super beginner stage, that's fine. And if you're saying to yourself, I have no idea because I have no idea what an analytical unit can look like, then that is really important. And here's what you can do about that. You can stick around here in the tribe. We have lots of analysts here who give ideas all the time. So you can start to get ideas, right? You can come to the pods, which are all free, right? You can come to the pods and start hearing how other analysts talk. It's kind of like visiting a police department without having to visit, right? So you can hear how analysts talk. If you can visit a police department during non-COVID hours, right? If you can visit a police department, I 100%, every single analyst, like Nick and Jane, some of you who said, hey, I'm brand new to this, my first thing on my agenda would be to visit 10 police departments. Nick, I can think of probably 15 police agencies within, a 2-hour driving distance from you that you could visit, right? Jane, I'm not exactly sure where exactly you are. I forget. Florida maybe. And so you have a great network of analysts if you're in fact in Florida. Yes, Rhea, I love step number 2, brainstorm. Like just sit there and think and dream. What do you, and in your personal life too, what do you want your house to look like? What do you want your marriage to look like? What do you want your relationship with your kids to look like? I remember last year I was really struggling with my older daughter and I went through this exercise and I wrote down, okay, and I did it in the positive. I am so happy and grateful that. And I said that I have this amazing relationship with my daughter, that she's found herself and all these things that I wanted to be true, right? And sure enough, when I focused on that, when I read that, when that was my intention, like that was the energy that I was putting out there, a year later, and we are there. We are there. Yes, pods are pandemic friendly. Yes, ASCBP is a great resource to connect with other PDs. Fantastic. You've been to a lot of great agencies already. Awesome. I'm so glad that you've tapped into that, Jane. Okay, so give yourself the time. So write down as part of your success list, for those of you who know me, you know that we dumped our regular lists a long time ago, and we have success lists. So we have lists that bring us to our goal, right? So your success list is to brainstorm tonight. Brainstorm about what you envision your analytical unit to look like. And if you want, what you envision your life to look like, your home life, your philanthropic life, your physical life, your spiritual life, all of it. Okay. So step 2, dare to dream, start to brainstorm and create that vision. So maybe when I started at a police department, I was the first analyst in the state of New Hampshire. And so they hired me. I was from Massachusetts, and they hired me and they said, we want you to start an analytical unit. And I was like, whoa, I'm going to start an analytical unit. I'm going to start buying in the state of New Hampshire. And I had all these visions, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to have 6 analysts. And if you're wondering how many analysts you should have, right? If you're wondering how many analysts you should have, the IACA, the International Association of Crime Analysts, has an algorithm, right? It has like a number system that you can follow. So it's something like if you have 30,000 calls for service, or for every 30,000 calls for service, you should have 1 analyst or something like that, right? And so they also do it by the number of officers, so you can go visit the IACA website and get the calculation for that. But in general, if you have 1 analyst for every 30,000 officers, 30,000 crimes or calls for service, you're kind of around the mark. So in my agency, we had 180 sworn officers almost, and so we needed, and about 110,000 calls a year, so we needed about 3.5 analysts is how I figured on that. Yes, Ria, that Florida has a ton of resources, absolutely. So thinking about what you want it to be, what function do you want it to have? Like, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the stats person? Do you want to be the stats person? Do you want to be the person underneath the table fixing the computers, right? No, I don't. Maybe you do, right? Or do you want to be the person who's identifying patterns and trends? Do you want to be the person who's guiding patrol, right? Where they should go, when they should be there? Providing actionable reporting. Do you want to be the person who's helping with POP projects, problem-oriented policing projects, where you're studying a problem in your community and you're providing an actionable response and measurable tool to help your officers get there? Do you want to be in the homicide investigations unit, right, where you're contributing to homicide investigations through analytics? Like, what is your vision of analysis? One vision every analyst should have is data at your fingertips. Data at your fingertips. Write that down. That's your vision. I'm giving you part of your vision, right? The second thing is analyzing. You want to analyze for a purpose. You want to be purposeful and valued and meaningful, actionable statistics. Not statistics. Meaningful, actionable trend analysis, pattern analysis, aiding in investigations, right? I remember just thinking, I want to be the person that every single time a detective has a crime series, I want to be the person or the unit that detective comes and says, Dawn, what should I do? And then I can do my little magic and give them a bunch of stuff to do, right? What do you want to be? So Gus says he wants to analyze rather than spit out stats all day long. Exactly. We have a ton. In the Peak Productivity Master Course, we're going to talk about automation. We're going to talk about releasing. I know you just learned, you and Michelle just learned how to do slicers. So I know you're excited about that, which is some automation for statistics. Rodolfo says, thanks for your dreams. Let's see. Working units, all working for the justice. Yes. Yeah. And how can we be even more impactful and focused and centered? Like many of you have heard the story about the little 3-year-old girl, who was beaten by her mom. And I had a little 3-year-old daughter at the same time. And I'm looking at the autopsy photos and I'm like, oh my God, and I wanted to sharpen my saw because I wanted to be really impactful and I wanted to be really useful in any case that was like that one. I wanted to be so eventful and so impactful. I wanted to help catch all the bad guys. That was my vision, right? So what's the vision for you and your agency? All right, so dare to dream, and this is not going to get done in 30 seconds. You're going to brainstorm a lot. In fact, every Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning, I have an appointment with myself to daydream, to think about what I want my world to be like, including my analytical world, right? Okay, and for those of you who are like, who the heck is this lady? She's not even an analyst in a police agency. You're right. I left my police agency. I was in law enforcement analytics for about 20 years with a little digression at one point. And now I'm no longer sitting at a police agency. I'm not at an agency analyzing data. Instead, I'm traveling throughout the whole country, helping analysts build analytical capacity through free training, through workshops, through one-on-one support, right? So I definitely have had my fill, and I could tell you that this is a missing piece. This is a missing piece. All right. Okay, so question number 3, or step number 3. These are the questions that I want you to ask yourself as you're building out this vision. 1, what do I want my unit to look like? Like, that's simple, right? What do I want my unit to look like? How many people do I want in it? Do I want them assigned like different things? Do I want them supporting different people? Do we have a north and a south? Do I want them centralized, not centralized? Like, what do I really want it to look like? Where are we going? Where are we going as a police agency in terms of analytics? Ask yourself, where are we going? So if you are just popping on here, we are diving into creating that vision and what key things need to be in place. We talked about getting the right people in the position to start to make that vision. 2-part. 1, that one-liner, and 2, that much more detailed piece. That process, that much more detailed piece is not only going to help you focus as an analyst, it's going to help your whole unit and your whole agency focus. And when you onboard someone, you're going to be like, here's what we do. How many of you have gone for a job and they told you, oh, we're all about analytics, and then you get there and you're like, what? They're nothing about analytics, right? And you're just like, oh my gosh, they don't have any of this stuff in place. That's what we're doing here. We're building infrastructure. We're putting it all in place for you this entire summer. We're starting with the vision. Okay, so the more questions on step 3 that you can ask yourself, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? So Nick, as you're developing your unit, what do you want to achieve? You have a couple hundred officers. What do you want to be for those officers? What do you want to do for those officers? And think big. Think big. Like, think about what the bigger picture supports that you can provide. Where are our deliverables? What are you delivering? Right? What are the deliverables? Where do you want to go in terms of what you want to deliver? Right? I want to and don't do the generic, I want to support patrol. That's too boring. That's too generic, right? Instead, really, how are you going to guide patrol? Right? We're going to talk about policies and procedures later on in the summer, but thinking about what policies are in place for you, right? We're going to talk about the policy piece, but in terms of the vision, what do you want people to do with the information that you put out? All right, what do you want them to do with the information that you're putting out? So Gus says, I did a presentation for the PPOs, and one had worked at another agency with the analysts, and the analysts had no idea what they did and got no product ever produced for them. Holy cow. Yeah, you're like, I'm an analyst, but I don't analyze. Exactly. And so, and it's okay because maybe you just don't know, and that's what we're here for. We're here to build that up. We're here to create. You are the CEO of crime analysis. Whether or not you are in charge, you are in charge. You are the CEO of crime analysis. And that's what we're here to do, to help professionalize you, okay? So another question you want to ask yourself is, what ultimate impact do we want to have? So what I don't want you to be saying is, we want to provide statistics for command staff. Blech. I want you to say why. What is that going to do? Anything that you say, like, I don't want you to think about the how at all. I don't want you to think about the computer that you're going to use. I don't want you to think about the system that you're going to use. I don't want you to think about the program. I don't want you to think about the products, the product that you're going to submit. I want you to think about the why. What impact are you going to have as an analyst? What impact do you want to have as an analyst? Okay. Yes, he looked freaked out that you were doing bulletins and maps. Yeah, he was probably like, whoa, because sometimes when you see what other analysts do, you're like, holy crap, holy poop, should I be doing that too, right, kind of thing. And that's about exposure, and that's a really good thing to share ideas, right? And that's what we do here on the Tribe. We had a couple of analysts who shared some really good ideas. They figured out how to map using Excel, so they did a short little video, and we were able to put that here on the page to give you some ideas of what you can be doing. But don't think mapping, don't think Excel, don't think any application right now. Simply think vision, Okay, vision, we're visionaries. And I know that that's hard because many of you right now are so tactical. You're so in the weeds that it's hard to take a step back and really think, what am I really doing here? What's the bigger purpose? But I want you to do that. That's exactly what I want you to do. What's the bigger purpose? How are you going to interact with your clients? So you have your patrol division, your detectives, your chief, your managers, your city managers, your other analysts. How are you going to interact with them, right? Your community, right? So thinking about that. And what will your culture look like? In your vision, in this vision, what does your culture look like? If you neglect to put this piece in, you will not have the culture you desire, okay? So you want to put into your vision statement somewhere, your vision booklet or pages that you put together, that we have this incredible culture that feeds off of analytics, that desires, that drives themselves to our agencies, right? Like to our units. They love analytics. We want them to have so much buy-in. So you talk about that in your vision, right? We have an agency who lives for these analytical products, who enjoys them, who finds them of value, who has a great relationship with our analytical unit. We know our officers and our officers know us, right? What does that look like for you? What does your culture look like? Do they dump your paperwork, or do they look at it, absorb it, and use it to drive their decisions, which we'll get into the policy piece later, right? So what does that look like? Is there a system of feedback? Is there a system of buy-in feedback, right? Is it working? Is it not working? What does that look like for you? So those are some questions for you to ask yourself. Some things to think about here. I have here are I was trying to formulate what I would want to, if I worked for an agency right now, right? And this is what I help agencies do. I want to be the go-to for detectives, patrol, and admin to identify and provide actionable information on patterns and trends, right? I want to build data-driven strategies and solutions for my agency, right? Writing in code scares people. Yes, it sure does. It sure does. I want to formulate, right? And I'll say, instead of I want to, I do. Like, put it in the present tense. What do? We formulate crime prevention strategies. We provide actionable analyses, right? We develop solutions to current problems and trends. So Nick says, I want to empower my officers and those in my 4-person intel unit. Full buy-in from the top down. What does that buy-in look like, Nick? What does that buy-in look like? I want my group to be the go-to on the spot when they need a crime series to be solved. Yes, yes, yes. Because that's going to give you all like what you need to have happen in your analytical world in order to reach that outcome. And that's exactly what you're doing, Nick, is you're talking about the outcome that you're looking for. You want to be the go-to. You want your officers or your detectives to come into your office and say, oh my gosh, I have a crime series going on right now. I have a suspect sitting over there. What can you tell me? And you want that data at your fingertips so that you can, on the spot, deliver results. On the spot, deliver results. Okay? All right. Okay, so goals. Some goals you may want to think about. I love that. Yeah, quite a few other people too really enjoy that. So other goals you want to think about, you want to shift some things you may want to say. And I will say your vision changes. Your vision should be about 3 to 5 years out. So you should be looking, what do I want to happen over the next 3 to 5 years? Okay? What do I want to happen over the next 3 to 5 years? Maybe you start with 3 years if 5 years seems too much. So you start with 3 years. And you bet at that 2.5 year mark, you want to start thinking about, what do I want to happen for the next 3 years? So your vision is evolving and changing. So don't think that you stick with this vision once and it's over, right? It's evolving and it's changing. It may change less as you refine it more and more, as you get more skilled and more culture buy-in and that kind of thing. But in essence, you should be looking at your vision quite often, every couple of years, okay? It should be a tool that when someone comes in, they read and they're like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. So some goals you should be thinking about, some key words, right? Shifting from reactive to proactive. You can, in your vision right now, if you are a very reactive analyst, you might say to yourself, over the next 3 years, over the next 1 year, over the next 6 months, I want to shift from a reactive analytical function to a proactive analytical function. I want to link crimes. I want to solve crimes. And again, moving away from I want and saying I do, what our agency does, what our analytics do, right? I link crimes. I solve crimes. I provide intel, right? Just like Nick was saying, I empower, right? I forecast. I predict. I study crime trends, timely, actionable. Yes, yes. I provide meaningful statistics, not statistics. Notice I didn't say that. I provide meaningful statistics. I provide actionable analysis. I reduce the budget, right? Or spending of the budget because I provide more actionable responses. I save our agency resources. I deploy more strategically, right? These are words you want to use. Is this helping anyone? Is anyone like, yeah, this is what I need? Or are you guys like, well, this is not what I wanted? Is this what you're looking for? Is this what you want? Is this what you're looking to hear? The words to use during these vision statements? Yeah, these one-liners you can do, but also the bigger vision statement for you. Is this helpful for you? So let me know in the chat here, whether you're listening live or to the replay, let me know if this is the kind of stuff you were looking for and you were envisioning for the beginning of this summer's series, okay? Building that infrastructure. All right, so key tips. Awesome, Jane. All right, good. What about the rest of you? Let me know in the chat there if this is at all helpful for you, some of these keywords. I forecast, I predict, I study crime trends, I promote, I solve crimes, I link crimes, I'm shifting. Kirsten's writing it all down. Awesome. Beautiful, Rhea. I'm glad it's working for you. Perfect. I provide meaningful statistics. I'm of value. Our analytical function is fully incorporated, fully integrated into our police agency as a key component, just like detectives are a key component. Just like records is a key component, right? In a different way. Just like dispatch is a key component. Crime analysis is a key component. Like if we did not do our job, someone would know and would be impacted. Yeah. Okay? Okay, so tips. We're gonna wrap it up with some tips here, and then you'll be done. All right, and then you'll be off writing your vision statements, and we'll move on. All right, so tips. You want to look 3 to 5 years into the future. You can potentially, depending on where you're at, you can even look further into the future. Like in 10 years, I want this unit to be X. But start with 3 to 5. Start with 3 to 5 years. I would even start with 3 if you're brand new to all of this. If you're super new, if you're the only analyst at your agency, start with where you want to be in 3 years. Okay? Another tip here, dream big. Dream big. Don't get caught up in the weeds. Don't get caught up in the negative self-talk. Like, that'll never happen. Or no one will ever go for that. Like, don't get caught up in that talk. I just simply want you to dream big. If you dream like this, then you're going to get here, right? But if you dream like this, you're going to get a lot closer to that. So dream big, right? The same with your family vision. You know, you don't want to just say, oh, I want to be happy in my family. I want to love my husband. I want to love my wife. I want us to be happy. Like, you want to say, I want to be so connected and integrated. I want to be this wonderful family that we go on vacations and we laugh and giggle all the time. And when we don't see each other for a month, we miss each other, you know, like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we want to go to Italy, like whatever you want. Think big. Think bigger. Bigger than what you're thinking right now. I promise you, think bigger. I actually have a business coach. I'm in a 12-month program, and I have a business coach, and I told her what my vision of my business, and she's like, oh, no, think bigger. And I thought I was thinking big. So I encourage you, think whatever you're thinking right now. If you're saying to yourself, be logical. If you work for an agency that has 50 officers, you probably are not going to envision a unit of 75 analysts. Like, that's not really logical, right? But you can be really, we're integrated. We're on roll call. We're at roll calls. We're, on ride-alongs. We're so integrated into the processes that are happening. When my chief wants to know something, he asks me, or our unit. We're at every ComStat, and not just as the button pusher, but as really integrated, as key partners in this. I remember I worked under Commissioner Davis, who was at Lowell, Massachusetts PD at the time in the 90s when I was an analyst there. And now he then went on to Boston, and I remember he would come down or during ComStat, he would say, Dawn, Carol, what do I need to know? Like, what do we need to know? And that was the best. And that didn't happen at every agency. But he really trusted what we had to say because he knew that we were the keepers of the data. All right? So that's what I want for you. Dream big. Use the present tense is another tip. Use the present tense. Don't say this is what I'll do someday. Use the present tense. We are an analytical unit that does this. Use the present tense, okay? Be clear and don't use jargon. Don't say anything about statistical significance or anything that convolutes this whole vision into like, someone's like, what is your vision? They just don't get it. Give it to someone else to read, right? And see if they get it. If it's too confusing, if it's too complex, it's just not going to happen. It's too confusing and it's too complex. Keep it simple, right? Keep it really simple. Clear, no jargon, no acronyms, no jargon, no like big words that no one's going to understand. Keep it simple. Pretend that your 9-year-old kid's going to read it and you want them to know what it's all about. Make it inspiring. Make it inspiring. Make someone want to work with you. Right? Make you want to work with you. This is the exciting stuff. Make it inspiring. If you're just like, oh, we deliver statistics, that's not very inspiring. But if you say, we use information at our fingertips to drive decisions in our community that keeps our community safe, that keeps our officers safe, right? To drive decisions. And again, we'll talk about the policies and how to articulate that later. But for right now, just think about it. Make it inspiring. Align it with your agency goals, right? Align it with So how many of you here have ever heard the mission statements at their police departments? Do you know what your mission statement is for your police department? What the vision of your police department is? At every agency, typically once a year, they get together and they talk about all these goals that they have for the agency. Are you even involved in those goal setting sessions, right? Is analytics and the incorporation of analytics part of it for you? So if right now you're like, oh, shizzle, I have no idea what the mission statement is for my police agency. I have no idea what our goals are this year. Maybe you don't even have any goals this year, right? If you don't know what your goals are, then ask someone for a copy of them and digest them and see how you can align your analytical functions with them. So let me know in the comments, does anyone have access to their community goals, right? Their police agency's yearly goals? Let me know in the comment section if that's you. If you have that. This is important, so listen up, right? I know we've been going for a little while, and we're going to wrap up pretty soon. Yeah, we're definitely going to wrap up pretty soon. Building a better future through excellence in policing. Yeah. Yep. Jane, is that your agency one? Is that your agency mission? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. One of the most important things. You guys ready for it? Very, very important here is create a plan Create a plan to communicate your vision. How are you going to communicate this vision, right? How are you going to tell other people about it? How are officers going to know what you do? How are detectives going to know what you do? How is your chief, your commanders, how are they going to know what you do? How's the community going to know what you do? Maybe you have these 2 sheets, right? You have your one-liner and then you have like this couple of pages of what your vision is. Maybe that one-liner goes on all of your, requests, right? Or something like that. So Steve says, your mission is to prevent crime and protect your community. Your vision is to be community focused in all that you do, to honor excellence, loyalty, and professionalism, and expect excellence. Excellence, I like that word, Tribe of Excellence. Excellence in Analytics is the name of my company. So I get it. And so for you, I would say, okay, so let's take that, your values, honor, excellence, loyalty, professionalism. Are you applying the same thing to analytics, right? And if you are, wonderful. And if you're not, like if you don't have that quite yet written down, creating that vision and sharing it with your staff and saying, okay, in alignment with our values, right? In alignment with our values, I'm building similar values in a vision for our analytical unit, right? Producing excellence. Okay. All right. And then finally, prepare to commit time and resources to your vision. Once you develop this vision, the vision for your family, the vision for your analytical function, once you develop that vision, if you stick it in your desk and never look at it, like what good is it, right? What good is it? And I'm not talking about a vision board necessarily. I'm talking about like, are you reading your vision? Is it real to you, right? Is it real to you? Are you reading the vision of your analytical unit? Is it posted somewhere, so the analysts in your agency can see, so that other people can see in your agency, right? What your vision is. Are you sharing it with people? So communicate it, right? And then commit to spending time and energy on it. So revisit it at the end of the month. Take a look at it. Did we actually do? Did we move closer toward the things that we said we were going to do? Did we set up some milestones and move further and further? Like if your milestone is, I'm going back to Nick, if one of the things that you wanted to do was be the go-to, right? What action steps, a month later, you look back and you're like, what action steps did we take to make it so that officers and detectives would feel like we are the go-to, right? And if you're not doing it, you figure out a way to do it, right? But the how will happen later. Right now it's just the vision, All right. So that pretty much, we have one more thing, but that pretty much wraps up the vision piece of things here. My hope for you was that's very helpful. And I know this might feel overwhelming and big right now, but what you can do, if you want, you can write your vision. And what we can do is we can have a collection of them and like compile them and have them all in one spot so that we can share them with each other and be more impactful. Would that be helpful for anyone? If we kept like a deposit maybe in the units section or something of like different vision samples so that you could look at them, would that be helpful? Let me know. We can figure out how to make that happen. So what's next? This whole summer series is all about creating infrastructure, right? Creating infrastructure for your agency. Yes, awesome, beautiful. I love it. So we're talking about creating this infrastructure. So every single week, we're going to talk about a different piece of infrastructure that we're creating. Today was about the vision. Next time around, we're going to talk about data sources, data structures, and really developing data processes, right? Oh, good. It will be helpful for several of you. Awesome. So the next time we meet next week, we're going to be talking about the data structures. Some of you are like, yeah, great. I want data at my fingertips, but how the heck do I get it? What do I do? How do I get that information? How do I create quality? How do I create systems of quality at my agency? So we're going to talk about that the next time. And you can take a look too. We have quite a few. Let's see. Here we are, the different types of crime analysis. So if you're just like, I don't even know what kinds of analytical processes or analytical roles there are. There we go, we're back. We're gonna dissect all that for you. We're gonna build that out for you. Hopefully you can still hear me. I popped out for a second. If you could still hear me, give me some hearts or give me something in the comments so I know that you can still hear me, because I lost connection for 1 second, but it looks like I might be back. I hope I'm back. Okay. So we're going to talk about simple collection tools. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, good. Great. So we also have the masterminds coming up. So how many of you are in the business of producing actionable bulletins and reporting and distributing actionable bulletins? Yes. So, okay, good. Thank you. So if that's you, we have a mastermind coming up happening on July 22nd. Again, that is 100% free. Make sure you click on the link and register for it. That's produced by NHTSA. I'm so excited. It literally is the last mastermind. We have access to all of the masterminds in our free resources unit in our Facebook group. Yes, Jane, I know you're into actionable. So the mastermind is happening on July 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern. Just register for that. Make sure you register, because if you don't register, you don't get the free download, which is a template. It's a bulletin template. So we have we have the IACA, they have a bulletin contest. So we have one of the judges from the bulletin contest who's coming on board and sharing with us what to do when you want to produce an actionable bulletin. We also have Katrina, who won the Rise and Analysts. She's coming on board. She's from Texas, and she's going to be sharing. Yes, it is the last one, Gus. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. Yeah, it is the last mastermind. We might have something up our sleeve though, or maybe I do. But for right now, it's the last one. So you'll just have to come hang out here on the Tribe of Excellence, and we'll get you everything that you need. But yes. You guys have given me a lot of ideas on things that you need this summer. The bulletin was one of them. I know several of you have asked for policies, so we're going to work on that. And so we're going to be doing a poll in our group pretty soon that's going to ask you for exactly what you're looking for so that we can make sure that we're serving you all summer long. I know, so sad. So if you haven't already voted on the Rise in Analysts for July, go ahead and do that. We have that going on all month long. And of course, if this stuff is jiving with you, if you're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing, I love it, love it, love it, and you want to take it a step further, we do have the Rising Genius program, which is separate from this. A lot of people are confusing what Tribe of Excellence is and what Rising Genius is. Tribe of Excellence is this group. It's free. It's 100% free. We come here. We are community. We are all of it. The Rising Genius group is transformation program is for analysts who want to take it one step further. So we have a bunch of analysts who have joined in a separate paid program where they are getting the one-on-one support to help implement all of this. So if this is of interest to you, if you want to learn more about the Rising Genius program, you want to see if it's a right fit for you, then pop on over, send me a private message, and I'm happy to set something up for you where we can hop on the phone and see if it's the right thing or the right timing for you. Otherwise, we hope to continue to see you on Tribe of Excellence. Your voice is important. Let us know what you need, and we're going to get it to you. All right, you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye now.